Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, depending on where you are, or good morning. My name is John Warren. I'm Director and Associate Professor of the Master of Professional Studies in Publishing program at GW. Welcome to our 11th GW Ethics in Publishing Conference. We have the first day today, October 18th, and we will also be here a week from Wednesday on October 27th. I want to start with a land acknowledgement. Although, like last year, this is a virtual conference, all of us are situated in lands that were once the historic homelands of Indigenous and Aboriginal people. Please take a moment and consider the Indigenous peoples who once made their homes and communities where you are. The George Washington University's Foggy Bottom campus in downtown Washington, D.C., borders the confluence of the Anacostia and Potomac River, a history of trade and cultural exchange between several tribal nations. For generations, the Piscataway and Anacostian peoples have resided in this region and served as stewards of the local land and waterways. Their people continue to thrive in this region and still honor and celebrate their culture and relationship with this land. We have a conference code of conduct that you will find prominently at the top right of the conference page. The GW Ethics in Publishing Conference and the MPS in Publishing program are inclusive communities free of harassment for everyone, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, disability, physical appearance, body size, race, or religion. Please consult the entire code of conduct. We will be recording all sessions for later viewing. If you're an audience member, your name and face will not be shown in these recordings. However, if you post a question in the Q&A, your question may be read out loud and your name may be said along with your question unless you tell us not to. There is a separate audience chat that you can use to interact with the other members of the audience. Please put your questions, however, in the Q&A. I do want to thank our sponsors, the Association of University Presses, AU Presses, and the Society for Scholarly Publishing. Both are great supporters of our program and of our students, and of course, to the publishing community at large. For those of you that are on Twitter, and that's probably almost everyone, please use the hashtag ethics in publishing. I'm going to turn it over now to our conference co-organizer, Puja Telikicherla, who is licensing and subsidiary rights manager at the American Psychiatric Association Publishing, and she's also adjunct professor in the Master of Professional Studies in Publishing at the George Washington University. Puja?
Thank you so much for that introduction, John, and welcome to all of you joining us from all over the world to participate in the conference. So, of course, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the first day of the GW Ethics in Publishing Conference, now in its 11th iteration. My name is Puja Telikicherla, and I serve as adjunct faculty in the GW Masters in Publishing program, as well as licensing and subsidiary rights manager with the American Psychiatric Association. John and I have teamed up again, and we are so pleased to share this varied assembly of speakers and presentations, all approaching ethics from unique and diverse perspectives. After all, now that we're a bit more used to the new normal, we've taken advantage of what a digitally connected world can offer. The conference this year includes speakers from the US and the UK, covering a range of topics from AI to workplace inclusion, from equitable pay and advancement opportunities to an update on the anti-racism toolkit. Speakers this year join us from university presses, scholarly publishing, the journals world, and our own GW Masters in Publishing student community. Their voices and ideas reflect the range of publishing experience and call out the many opportunities we have to contribute to a more equitable and ethical profession. We hope you'll tune in throughout the afternoon and again on October 27th, and that you'll join the chats and conversations that the conference provokes. Speaking of which, now is a good time to get oriented with the Platform Q interface that we're using to host this conference. The main page has a chat box that we hope you'll use to introduce yourself to one another. Each individual presentation will have its own dedicated Q&A box, and John and I will be on hand to field questions for our speakers. As usual, make sure that your own microphone is muted. The entire conference is being recorded and will be available for viewing online at no charge. Given the logistics, we'll see you in a few moments for the first session to introduce on inclusion and identities in the publishing workplace. We're so glad you're with us, including any of your non-human companions who are joining, and we'll see you in the first session.